Starting a little early this morning. Oh, man, need to get some more going on here. Welcome, everybody. Thought I'd come on a little bit early today. Have a few things on the go. So good morning, good morning, good morning, Lexi. Yeah, it's chilly out today. Just saying, it's just chilly out today, and I'm learning to do my eyebrows from not having any eyebrows for years. I don't know where my eyebrows went, but they left. And now I'm having to learn how to have eyebrows again. At least I can go like that. I don't know if you've ever seen some of those girls that can't go like that because they've had so much Botox. They're like, I don't know even how they do. They can't even do that. But anyways, I'm learning to have eyebrows. Uh, that's my revelation for the day. Having eyebrows. Um, yeah, it's just one of those things. You never think that you're going to be one of those old ladies that has to draw on their eyebrows. And then it comes that you are the old lady that has to draw your eyebrows on. You don't think that'll ever happen, but then it does. Did the hair go and just lighten up? No, my hair is still the same. Haven't done anything with the hair. Hair is still the same. So, see, still the same. Still doing the same thing. I don't know. Maybe it's the lighting. Maybe it's the fill. Did I don't know. I pressed. No, it's the same one I use every day. So, yeah. No, hair's still the same. On your eyebrows. On your eye. On your eyebrows? Oh, on your eyebrows. Oh. No, my eyebrows. I use brown. You're one too, Lexi? I know. It's like because I never plucked my eyebrows very, very much. You know? I growing up, like it was because Brooke Shields was the thing, and she had bushy eyebrows. So it was cool to have bushy eyebrows. So I had, nice eyebrows growing up. They weren't crazy. I never really plucked them except when they got out of hand. And then all of a sudden they just disappeared. They just disappeared. They just left. They left the building. The eyebrows have left the building. So, so one day, all of you young, beautiful women out there, one day your eyebrows are going to leave the building. That's just what's going to happen. Or, and I stopped coloring my hair and went natural. I'm a lot darker than I was before I went blonde. Ooh, nice, nice. Mine vacated as well. Lexi's eyebrows and my eyebrows have gone on a vacation and didn't invite us. So you have no hair on your eyebrows. Okay, I'm asking if the hair fell out of your eyebrows or did they go light? No, they just left. They're gone. That's what happens. I've been told with menopause. It's one of those things that happen. Yeah. So these little whatever menopausal girls that are bitching, oh, you know nothing. You know nothing of the shit that's gonna hit the fan. I hope they are having a good time. Yeah, I hope they have a good time too. Just wait, other parts of your hair will bald too. Hey, if it bald, I've to tell you the truth, I haven't had much hair anywhere else on my body. So just to share that out into the world, the only place that I have a lot of hair out is is here, and it's not getting thinner. Just an FYI. This is getting actually every time I go to my hairdresser, which isn't very often, but when I do go, she says your hair gets thicker every single time. So this, God bless, is getting thicker. So I have the mane. Um, but other parts, like I've never really had hair on my legs or on my arms. So, and in other places too that we're not going to mention, has not been a place where there's been much going much down there. Oh, I don't want to say not much going on down there because there's probably a lot going on down there that I don't even want to talk about. People are joining, they're like, what the hell is she talking about today? I thought we came here for astrology and spiritual advice. But all of it's spiritual, baby. All of it's spiritual. That's all I got to say. See, see, it's all going to your head. Yeah, it's all going to my head. That's not all that's going to my head. Oh my God. It's what a day. What a day. The moon's still in Taurus, man. It's been crazy. I've had a few people ask me about the royal family. One, Kate is still alive. But I know, I went back and I looked at her chart. There is some hidden elements that are going on. There is something that's happening, just not too sure exactly what it is, but there is something going on with her. Um, the whole thing, and with Charles and stuff. So the whole family is in a kerfuffle. And it's funny because there's a lot of different points of things going on right now. And I find it quite interesting because everybody's making a big shado out of it, even though they came out and said she wouldn't be out till April anyways. But they're making a big shado. And I think she just felt pressured to put a picture out, and then the picture was pulled. That's how much power, the royal family does have. If they don't want something out, it's not going to get out. Um, you know, but I just feel like, I mean, it'll eventually come out. But a lot of things don't come out. I mean, many people didn't know that Prince Philip had cancer for years, and he basically died from cancer. People didn't know that the Queen had a blood disorder, and she died from the blood disorder. I mean, they put down old age, but that was one of the causes for her death. Like she suffered for many years from from having some sort of blood disease or blood cancer as well. And the other thing too with Chuck, I mean, before he came out with the prognosis, he started to go see a holistic healer. Now, again, you got to understand what a holistic healer is with the monarchy. It's not exactly what you and I would think of as a holistic healer. There is a lot of things that they utilize and use, like ground up skulls, human skulls, and um, leaving, if a person dies at the age of 24 in a manic state, they keep the body and they have it underneath the moonlight for 24 hours or sometimes longer, depending. And then the certain parts of the body are ground up to make elixirs. I know that's probably gruesome, and a lot of people are going like, "Oh, that's so gross." Well, it is gross, but that's what they do. That's what they do. It's one of those things. It's you go back and you can look at it in history. They've been doing this for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. And there is something in with the skulls and the ground up, and that gives you I can't remember exactly what's in it. My book's over there. I'm not going to go grab it, but to give you energy and helps with the energy. Now, that being said, we know there's something going on. Chuck's been waiting all his life to get this role. His wife is not well either. I think the only one that's really fit as a fiddle, I would say, is Princess Anne. Because she's still out there doing her thing. Like she's the one who has the gumption and let's get going. I don't know what the hell's going on with all of you, but get your act together. Like she's got her mother's stamina. So there's things going on with the royal family, and I think it all has to do with a lot of things in play right now. Right down to what's happening in the Middle East. You look at what's going on, and they're going to be making a for Gaza to get aid in there. They're going like, fuck. It's like they're going to be making a wharf, but they're going to be on water, but they're not going to touch the land. So the states are going to be there, but they're not going to be there, even though that they're helping out the other side, but they got to get the aid in there. So it's like a double-edged sword. But the only ones that aren't there yet are the Christians. That's coming, baby. That's coming. So that's the thing is like the Christians aren't there yet, but they're coming. I mean, the Pope said to wave the white flag for Ukraine, told Ukraine to wave the flag, but then second in command came out, but Russia has to do something first, kind of thing. So uh, we're gonna see. We're gonna see. It's building up, and we're gonna see a lot of this building up. And I think it's gonna happen all when everything is in Aries. And we also have Mercury. Mercury is going into shadow on the 18th. So just the day before the spring equinox. And then he will be going retrograde in Aries. I think he's going to be there for over 5 weeks or something. So this is a year where Mercury goes retrograde in fire signs. So last year was mainly Earth. It was kind of like, oh, trying to get things moving and going. When he's in air, or when he's not in air, when he's when he's in this fire energy, it's like blah, and everybody's going to be just freaking out, and information's going to come out, and things are going to get all muddled, and it is just like the fire is just like so a lot of craziness is going to happen because when fire gets activated, it gets fucking crazy, man. So the fire being activated with Mercury going in 4 years ago, and it's like almost like a year to the date. Well, we're coming up to the 4 year anniversary of the pandemic being catapulted at everybody. And Mercury was retrograded in water in that year and being retrograded in water. And he started off with Pisces. And when he retrograded in Pisces, I said the spell will be cast because things are going to be said, and Neptune being the one in charge of media. So the media will be casting a spell upon the people. Ta-da! Fast forward. Now we have where the media is still trying to cast a spell, but what kind of spell are they still trying to cast? Or what, it's like things are being divulged or opened up, right? And we're seeing more of truth that's going on. I mean, who is it? Tucker Carlson and Como sat down for an interview. I didn't see it. I haven't seen it yet. But which is odd because they're on opposite extremes, and now Como's kind of coming over and he's becoming a Trump supporter. So I guess seeing the light of day from the pandemic, he's the one who was caught faking his flu thing and thought he'd be the one to document it all. So that's interesting to see how things are, some things are turning around. So it's almost like everything is becoming, it's like a lot of things are becoming in and aligned. And this is also where you're going to find where a lot of people are going to be just losing it. Like you're going to see on within the media, people who are in the know or the spiritual community that are heavily into drugs and alcohol, and are totally losing it, and not being able to function. So that's the other piece that's coming in as we are coming up to a quarter square of the moon. We're coming in. We're gonna, that's going to be coming up within the next week. We have, oh, what else do we have? Oh, the sun, Neptune, all weekend. I mean, it's going to conjunct on Sunday. So the sun and Neptune coming together is going to cause a lot more Looney Tune energy for us. And we're going to start feeling it, especially today and as we go through the weekend, as it builds up to the 19th, when the sun finally moves into Aries and spring. And that won't be till I think it's 9 in the evening. My if you are wanting to join me for my spring equinox celebration, it is at 7 p.m. on Tuesday. So if you are wanting to join me, please let me know. And I'm going to be sending out the list of little thingies to get and to plan for our spring equinox. So if you are wanting to join, please let me know. All right. I'm not a mind reader. And somebody will come to me and say, but I wanted to go. Well, just shoot me and say, okay, I'm coming. All right. So, and it's $25. So we have that's going on. But in saying that, in saying, all of that, as things are starting to align, and then we have the lunar eclipse, and of course, I mean, I'm getting to get prepared. I'm getting a lot of preparedness um on my feed, either through my emails, on Google, on different platforms are all talking about getting prepared, getting prepared. Make sure you have plenty of water, make sure you have all of your plenty of food. Make sure that your tank of gas is full, like your car is full, and all of these different things are coming across about being prepared, being prepared. So, it's Tuesday evening, this coming Tuesday. Yeah, on the 19th. So it's being prepared. Yes, and that's what I've been saying for a long time. So for many of us, it's like, okay, I'm already prepared. I don't have to worry. So there's a lot more that's coming in that, the shit's going to start hitting the fan, and a lot more uprising than what we've been seeing. Good news is that in Europe, they are stopping hormone blockers, and so they are not. It's going to be illegal to distribute hormone blockers to children and to teenagers. So that is fabulous good news. The referendum in Ireland was a very good news about family and the description of women. So there is some really, there are positive things that are coming out through all of this. So there's a lot of people that are sort of they're awakening. They're really noticing that, okay, this is just bullshit. This whole thing is just crazy. So people are are getting wise to it, and I think for Canadians, I'm just going to say, when that tax comes in and whenever it hits, and I know some provinces, I know Saskatchewan said they're not going to pay the carbon tax, and whatever backdoor deal that happened with the premier and Mr. Goodhair. I'm going to call him Snuffleupagus because he likes to sniff things. Had about the carbon tax and what's coming in, it's really going to hit people. Now if the thing is that for a province like Saskatchewan saying no, it's going to hit in other ways where food costs and still going to sneak it in, still going to get sneaked in, but this is going to cause where people are going to say fuck it. So people are awakening too. People are starting to really question things, really say, no, we're not taking this. We don't want to go on this side, we don't want to go on that side. We want truth, and we don't want to be governed like we're children. So it doesn't matter which side that's going to get in, they're all going to try and govern you like a child and think that you don't know fuck all. So this is going to be very interesting as we enter into Aries energy. And we have Mercury's also, as it's going into Aries, hitting the North Node and Chiron, just sending out there for people who suffer from any headaches or migraines, or even if you don't usually get migraines, with this Mercury Chiron conjunction that's going to be coming up over the next few days. It is going to, it may cause either fuzziness, and you're going to be feeling a little bit, you could get headaches, etc. So just be aware of that as well. So a lot, this is this is like coming in, and I know we thought it was heavy before, but this is like you know eh, but it's still coming in to have us look at our spiritual side, um and to really let go of the past so that we are able to move forward. So if you're hanging on to the trailer park behind you and you're trying to you're trying to drag the trailer park wherever you go. And I call the trailer park your past and the bullshit that you like to keep back there. If you're carrying on the trashy trailer park, it's time to let it go. This is time to say, okay, I need to move forward. I can't be holding this on anymore. And even, with the spring equinox, it's seeding something new. This is really a year of seeding. A lot of seeding is being done, a lot of planting things down. And some of the planting trailer park boys as well. Um, a lot of the seeding that we're doing is not yeah, we're going to get we're going to get the nourishing seeds that are going to come up and nourish us, but the other seeds that are being planted this year are the ones that are going to be coming into the grapevines, right? And and the big established fruit trees and things that we want to have that nourish us, right? So the seeding is happening, and it is very much a part of 2024, of really looking at how we are wanting to put our roots and connecting those roots into the ground to give us that stability and strength that we're going to be needing as everything is unfolding before us and as the world is dramatically changing. And so this is opening up a lot of nuances, a lot of new vibrations. So this is also watching within our chakras. Now, Neptune rules the crown chakra, right? Connection to God, connection to the realms, connection, to the dream world. So keep track of your dreams as well. So this is a connection connecting us to the higher realms as we are coming in with all of this energy. Now, Neptune being, near the end, not exactly, but almost close, he's able to see, what's going on. He's able to see what's going on in Aries. So it is a connection. Good morning, Dana. Good morning, Cindy. Good morning, everybody. It is a connection. Good morning, Declan. A connection and seeing what's going on. What are those seeds? What are those sparks happening over there as everything is culminating to the end? So the end. So it's like we're not there, precisely, but what we are doing and what we are beginning to create is helping us. So when Neptune does leave in 2020, like comes to the end, because Neptune and Saturn don't meet up until 0 degrees Aries. So they don't meet up in Neptune. I mean, in Pisces, they meet up in Aries. So he's starting to see, what are those things that I want to cultivate? What are those things that I want to begin to dream about, to create? So here's this creating energy that is coming in, that is getting us to really look at and establish some of the seeds that we are wanting to plant. Now, that's part of my spring equinox celebration that I'm going to be having next Tuesday at 7 p.m. And it is online and it's $25. So, planting those seeds, right? So, this is a gate. A gate is coming in. So, this is starting, this is like a starting gate, and we have to pay or move, move forward. We got to pay to move forward, meaning not pay, but it's like paying. Paying means that we are releasing, letting go, letting go of those debts, letting go of those um that baggage that we are carrying, letting it go. And in letting it go, it is allowing us to come back in to the connections that we need to connect with, and the seeds that we are going to be planting. This is where it's like we have to keep, you know, up. We have to keep our thoughts positive as we are, and not get lost in a lot of the past, as we are seeding a lot. Like we had, I mean, this is like spring is usually the time for seeding, anyways, but we've had Mars and Venus meet up recent, not too long ago. That was definitely a connection. That's the masculine and feminine coming in, seeding something, birthing. What are we going to birth in the next 9 months? We had the sun Gazini with Mercury, then the sun Gazini with Saturn. So there's something there, the information that we are wanting to have to create the seeds that we want to plant, and bringing in that structure that is needed within a world that is becoming very unstructured. So we are looking at things becoming unstructured. We're looking at things coming undone. And so we are wanting to really plant into the roots and the culmination of what it is that we are wanting to gather forth for ourselves, especially as we go through this year into next year. And that's why you're seeing a lot to do with the royal family. It's unraveling. You're seeing different people that you never thought would come together are coming together. Things that are being exploited coming out, like the Tate brothers, whatever, they kind of make me want to puke. But things around them coming more out to the forefront, being open, being exposed. And things around the governments being open and exposed, so more is coming in of exposure. And then that leads us with, okay, here it is, we're bringing you out, we're showing you what's happening. How are you going to deal with it? What are you going to do about it? Are you going to continue? And a lot of people are going to lose it. A lot of people are going to lose it. They're going to have craziness. No, Kate is not dead. Kate's not dead. Now, everybody keeps asking me, Kate is not dead. Chuck is not dead. If Kate was dead, they would not hide it like this. They would definitely, she is sick. There's something definitely going on that's hidden there. And we will see her come out. She's not going to be an AI generated. Everybody's thinking that she's being reprogrammed and everything else. No, but the royal family is very good at hiding things. As I said earlier, the queen had a like blood cancer. Chuck, Philip had cancer for years. Now Chuck does have he has prostate, but they said it wasn't prostate cancer. So there's a form of cancer. You could have cancer of the lymph nodes, but he's still out there. He's still out making, and I think that's where people are freaking out, because everybody else has, come before the people or made themselves known, but she hasn't. And I think there's just a lot going on. People think that she was pregnant. They're trying to draw lines. Oh, look at this and look at that. I'm just like, for fuck's sake, people. I'm going by the astrology. Something's hidden. She's a real kinky girl. I wouldn't put it past her that her and Chuck are having an affair. But that's what royal families do. They, the king can have whoever the king wants. And I think that's, in our day, we think in our day and age, think of that expression. They said that in the Elizabethan age. Oh, in our day and age, so we're constantly saying in our day and age. But the king, if he wants to have somebody, he can have whomever he wants to have, like it or not. I'm just, don't kill the messenger on that. But that's just the way it is. And the monarch have been in power for over 1,000 years. So the Brits know how to do shit. Even though they're not British, they're German, but they, the powers that be they know how to hide shit and do shit and whatever, But yeah, so there's stuff that's going on there. And and everybody's, William hasn't said anything. Well, first of all, he's probably like, why am I saying anything? I see her. I love her. Why am I telling anybody that? That's just, it's almost where even though that they're famous, everybody knows them. But yeah, it'll come out in some way, and then everybody will have their day and their feast on it. But there are some things. And of course, there was the one who committed suicide as well. And they're like, oh my God, Kate was having his baby. And I'm like, nope. It's like, it's not in her chart for her to be pregnant right now, just an FYI. Just saying. It's in her chart to go in the back kitchen and fuck the chef and then come out as if nothing happens. That's definitely in her chart. So she's kind of a little kinky thing. But anyways, on another note and moving on, the other thing that I found out, and I just found that out yesterday, is that Bashard guy who um, channels aliens or channels a alien. And I've seen him, I've watched him. I Something always felt off with him. And I guess there's recordings coming out in of December of 2020, I think it is, where he was telling people that the shot's okay, take the elixir's fine, and a bunch of other bullshit. So I'm just like, that's the whole thing. Is like, that's where you're going to see the true spiritualists coming out. Because when something is forced upon a person, when something's forced upon a population, the true light workers are going to come out and say, okay, something's being forced here and it's not good. And it's something to be feared. So the fear is there. But a true light worker is going to come out and say, hey, you know what? I don't think you should be going on. I'm not going to promote you to go take that. I'm not going to promote you to go out and do that. They're going to come out and say that. And that's the whole thing, and I saw that with some astrologers were talking about, and I think it was the twin ones, and they're on Cosmo, and saying, oh, Virgo, it's your turn to go get your shot now, line up. And I'm just like, what the am I hearing this? Do they not know the astrology? Do they not understand what a square with Neptune is, or a square with Uranus is with Saturn? Like, that's crazy experimental shit. And Saturn and Pluto coming together, that's another crazy thing that happens too. So Saturn, Pluto coming together, when I see that in a chart, there's some crazy shit that's going to come out for somebody. And things are going to be revealed. So you really have to stay strong within your spiritual self and your spiritual morals with the direction that you're coming in, and don't try and manipulate truth when you know when you know the truth. So that's the other part of with the energies coming in, where you're going to see where people try to manipulate truth, where people try to lie. It's going to be revealed. That reveal, is coming in. There was a lady that came on too that knew him before he was famous and is very different, like staged. Yeah. So, and the thing is that what I found funny and is that when I see when Conscious Life Expo, uh when I saw the Leo King and he was up against, at the same time as Bashard, every single time, right? And both of them had a totally opposite message. And the funny thing is, and this is what I think is fun, this is funny. I gotta move my chair. I can't stand low chairs. Gotta have a high chair. What I found really hilarious is that people are seeking to know things. They're seeking, I need to know kind of thing. But when people give you the truth about it, well, that's not what I want to hear. That's not what I want to know. So I'm going to go over to this guy because he can fluff it up, or he'll say things, which is very common sense kind of things that he was saying. Yet the other person that was doing a channeling and was saying that sort of the same thing was Abraham Hicks. And I started listening to Abraham Hicks as she was channeling him, and he was saying the same thing. And I'm just like, oh no, this is fucking bullshit. This is just fucking bullshit. It sounds like me. I need to know. And pushing the elixir on people and saying, oh, there's nothing to worry about here. There's nothing to worry about here. And I'm just like, okay. And then to say, that they have, especially when they're dealing with different entities, especially alien entities, and the alien entity, then they start saying, well, we have nothing to do with your government. Bullshit. There's proven documents that with Eisenhower signed with alien entities, you know? So, there's just a lot that's out there, but people just don't want to see the truth, or they don't want to hear it. And especially when somebody's staying in their light, and that's the whole thing, is staying in your light, staying in your truth. And when you're staying in your truth and your light, you're going to find how much more power you're going to have, especially when more is going to be starting to hit the fan. And, especially with all of the Aries energies that are coming forth, and this eclipse that's unveiling and will be unveiling. And please don't get into the prophecy shit about, oh, look at these cities are aligned to biblical times. Stop it. I'm just going to say, stop it, because it's fear mongering. It's fear mongering, and you're seeing it. And the thing is, I do post on TikTok. As you notice, I'm not always on TikTok. TikTok has always felt weird to me. It's always been something very strange. And now they're looking at taking TikTok away. And what I found that was very weird is, like, in the United States government, any of their phones, they're not allowed to have TikTok on any of their phones, especially when they go into I was going to say the House of Commons, but it's not, into Congress. Biden's on TikTok. So if Biden's on TikTok, he's not part of the government. So it's just shit like that. You start looking and you're just like, okay, this is fucking weird. And that's the whole thing. It is where there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be upset over it all. They're going to be very upset over the whole TikTok thing and where it's going to go. Because when they're really pushing something like that, and it is run by the Chinese government, that we are heading more and more into war. We're heading into something more and more. Any government employee is not allowed to have that app. Exactly. They're not allowed to have the app on. Why? Because it's spyware. And it would be different. It would be different, like, because we live in a glass house. You can come in and you can look at anything that's happening in the United States or Canada. It's basically a glass house. But you can't see everything that's going on in China. Like, there's like, boop, sorry, here's the Chinese wall. You can't see anything. So we're not going to tell you the truth. We're not going to give you the whole truth. And that's the thing, is like, okay, then there's something here that's not right. And it hasn't been right for a long time. So the structure and everything that is needing to be set up is starting to be set up. And we are going to start seeing that unfold within March and April and into the summer and into the spring and into the summer months. So it is starting to begin to get crazier. I think everyone monitors and takes your data at the end of the day. Monitors and takes your data at the end of the day. They do, but the difference with TikTok is that, yes, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram does take our data. The thing is that with TikTok, they take it differently. They take it totally differently than what those other social medias do, and that's the whole differences with it. And I don't know exactly what the technology or how they do it, and I know it has to do with your stroke keys and everything else. Understandably, yes, everybody does take your data. TikTok does it in a totally different format and how they do it. And that's one of the reasons why why they're looking at it. So yeah. And as I said, TikTok has always been one that, yeah, I'll look at it and stuff, but it's just It's different. It's different than the other social medias. And it's basically, if you think about it, it's like they're kind of like they want you to make longer and longer content and be on there more and more and more, and that's what they're trying to do, make more and more longer content. And in making that longer content, then they might give you a little bit of something, not very much. TikTok does not pay, and they don't pay Canadians anything. So with our laws, it's pretty shit, comparatively to some other places. So, but yeah, it is it is going to be interesting. And that's what the thing is, that you're seeing things like to do with TikTok, or you're seeing things to do with where they are wanting to um you know cut the, in the Middle East, they want to cut the internet. The internet's owned by the United States, and it is owned. Not really. No, they don't. No, you don't get anything in Canada. Like, you could have a huge live, and where somebody else may get a couple $100 or whatever it is, here in Canada, you might get like 20 bucks. So you don't get paid in Canada the same way for, when it comes to things on, for TikTok and stuff. You're paid totally differently. So, but you got to understand, when the internet basically was formulated, was when they turned CERN on in Davos, and the United States was there, and they patented it. They took it. So all of the cables and lines and everything that has been placed down through the United States. So whenever they want to, and I know everybody's going to say, well, Elon Musk has the satellites and stuff like that. Yeah, he does, but it's still going where he's signed over a lot of that over to the United States government as well. So changes. That's all I'm saying. I'm just delivering the message, is that they're going to happen. Changes are going to be where we are going to be seeing how things are going to unravel over the next several months, how people are going to be feeling very overwhelmed, and especially April 1st, when that tax hits, that's really going to hit Canadians. That's going to be interesting how Canadians, what they do. It's like, it's another thing. Are you going to suck it up again and watch as things go up and escalate again? But you're going to find a lot of people aren't going to be able to do a lot of things that they thought they could do. And that's the other piece as well. So there's going to be things that's going to happen. But when we are coming in, the other, coming into with Mars in Aquarius, it's coming back into that spiritual sense where you don't want to jump the gun. You don't want to just go freaking out over everything. And coming back to that, what am I planting? Where are my roots? What am I starting to create? Because I need to have that central hub within my life, within my connections with others, and that's going to be important. Um, Things that you thought that, and especially this year, as I said to a lot of people, it's sort of like the last year to really get out and travel. After this year, I can't see a lot of traveling, um, because of different circumstances, or even what's happening with Boeing and the planes, and the planes falling apart, and the guy who came out, who had an accidental injury in his car with a shotgun, um, after he gave his deposition to Congress about Boeing. So we're going to start seeing, um, a lot of craziness that's going to unfold, a lot more that's going to be um discerning. But then again, on the flip side, we are going to be also witnessing things where people are going to start standing up and saying, I'm not going to be, like the hormone blockers for children. The UK and the EU are saying no. So the United States isn't saying no, but then it's funny, that I said it before and I'm going to say it again. Who you think your enemy is not your enemy. Who you think your foe is, your friend is. Like, who you think your enemy is not your enemy. Who you think your friend is not your friend. Who they make friends with. Who do you think I'm going to say, who do you think the new Germany is? Who has the German Shepherd in their White House? Like, that's the thing, is like people have to take a step back and start saying, oh my God. Like, even looking, whew, there goes my ears. Even looking at the connections our prime minister has with China. And that's the other part. That's another part of the awakening. That's the other part. And my ears just started to ring high pitch. Like, I just got just the highest pitch in my ear as I'm talking right now. It's crazy. Um, so it's really evaluating these things and evaluating the direction that you want to go into, and how you are wanting to create a very powerful spiritual and deep spiritual. Ooh, every time my ears are ringing so. Wow. Yeah. So my ear is just like, as I'm talking about this, all my ears, um and I don't really get a lot of ringing in my ears, but this ear is just very high pitch. It doesn't hurt, but it's just an extremely high pitch as I'm speaking right now. So, um but this is, having a strong spiritual life is very, very important, and what you consider your spiritual life to be. And I'm talking about prayer and meditation, as I've been talking about for the longest time, but I'm going to reiterate that for people, that to connecting with the spiritual life on a daily basis, because that's really going to help you, to give you the discernment that you are going to be needing, and give you that gumption or backbone, whatever you want to call it, when more is going to be inundated on your doorstep than you ever thought would be, you know. And I've been talking to a couple of my clients who are from eastern Eastern Europe, and every one of them that I talk to, and they don't know each other, and then we of course say we talk politics, but every single one of them say this is exactly what happened, and this is why they left their country, was for everything that they are seeing, what's happening not only in the United States, but also in Canada as well. And watching how the government is really taking away and really wanting to tax you, and then maybe give you a little incentive and like say, here's $50 for your, groceries. What the fuck's $50 going to do for your groceries, especially if you're a family? It's not going to buy you too much. It might buy you a jug of milk, a loaf of bread, maybe some cheese, and then that's it. Um, and then people think that that's okay. Look at what they're doing for me, but they don't realize how much that they're taking from you, and that's where that's where the revolution happens. I can buy one avocado. One avocado, and it's gonna be a nice avocado too. I'm gonna buy the real nice one. But yeah. So, any que I haven't done this in a long time. Any questions? Any questions? Because I know I come on here every day, and I come in, and I know I come in with a lot of stuff for you guys, and a lot of information. And sometimes it's a lot, and it's overwhelming. My husband doesn't know how I sleep at night. So I just fall asleep. So if you have any questions, this this Friday, which is tomorrow, holy shit, Friday. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing readings for $10. So I will post it up on my Facebook and Instagram for readings for $10. My question was about Kate. Yes. Cynthia, is Kate alive? Yeah. Um, she's alive. She's alive. I know that I feel like she's very sick, and I feel there's I also I just the other part too, I think there's also a part of a mental breakdown. Federal election predictions. I don't know if there's going to be an election. I've said that before. Because the thing is, yeah, the United States is too divided. It's too divided. There is a movie that's coming out in, I think, 3 weeks, and it's called Civil War. If that ain't a prediction, I don't know what else is. Because if you are in a red state, you're in a red state. If you're in a blue state, you're in a blue state. And what they are trying to do to Trump, love him or not, whatever, you know, uh, is to discredit him. And what they're trying to do with Biden, where you see him 1 minute that he can't even talk, walk, you know, and then they pump him up with Adderall, put him up in the middle of Congress, and then you see what? You see a guy repeat the same speech he has repeated for the last 3 years. So that's quite interesting. Hasn't said anything different, but come out and yelling at the people, which is very interesting. So, and coming out with a lot of his speeches have been very Hitlerish, I guess you would say, very like, listen to me, sort of thing. Ask him to walk and chew gum at the same time. Yeah, and it's just, well, of course he is just propped up, right? He's a prop. He's a prop. What about here in Canada with our government? Well, our election isn't till supposedly next year. It's yeah. Pierre's a better choice per se. He's saying all the right things. Will he follow through with them? I don't know. I don't, but the other part too, with the war going to be hitting very heavily over the next few months and then get really radicalized by the end of this year. And if we start the draft here in Canada, um, will they, will they, will they have the election? I mean, the thing is, like, would you rather have Pierre or Justin at the helm for running our war house? No, we're not going to get one in the fall. He's not going to call an election yet. Trudeau? Hell no. No, 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 no. No, that's not even in his chart. He's not going to do anything. The thing is that right now he's going to be coming as much as being thrown at this guy. And that's the crazy thing. And that's the whole thing. And you see that all over. As much as being thrown at this guy. Yeah. He's going to be coming unscathed. Doesn't, I think, will his political career be done? Possibly after if he does not win in 2025. But then if the nuclear bomb goes off like I predict for 2025, would it matter? Yeah. So it's the thing is, I mean, Pierre did not want to go into take the run, but money came his way. Neshi is he sucks ass. He sucks ass. No, he sucks ass. I mean, and there's no fucking way the NDP are going to get back in. I know that for a fact. That's part of my ego coming in as well. Like, rah! But Nenshi, when I saw him coming out, I'm just like, whoa, you're sucking ass, buddy, and you're taking money from somebody. And the only reason you're going on with the NDP is because they're with a certain group with a lot of alphabets. And you're on that bandwagon. So there's yeah, so there's that's happening. No, I would not trust him. Fabulous mayor when he was first elected in his first couple terms, he did really well, and he had to go through the flood and the pandemic and everything. He did what he did. Great person on bringing together. He'd be a horrible person putting in there trying to keep the province together. So, and the mayor that we have right now she's fucking things up royally here in Calgary. What a nuke. Calgary has not forgotten Nenshi. Just saying. No, they have not. They haven't forgot him, but they remember what he did do at a different time. But people do not really realize when you start looking at the manifesto of the NDP party and what they really stand for. And that's the whole thing, is that they're not standing for mom and dad's rights. They're not standing for women's rights. They're not standing for people to have their own companies or for oil companies at all. I mean, I know it was a setup for the NDP to get in, because that's why they split the Conservative government up, because you know, they had over 51% of the vote, and then of course Danielle crossed the floor and joined the Conservative and brought her entourage with her for the United Conservative, or whatever the fuck they want to call themselves now. So, you know, I mean, they won't back them. Yeah, there's just, as soon as it's funny because I saw him there and I just got ooh, like, really creepy ooh kind of feeling when I saw that. I just went, ugh. If he did the conservative side, but then he's not going to get the notoriety that he wants, or the backing of the people that he wants. And the people that he wants backing him are not the people that are of moral standings, per se. So that's the whole thing. We get hit by a nuke. Okay, nuclear bombs are not what people think. They're not like Hiroshima. Like, yes, there are someone like that, but they are different, and they do different things, and they can hit in different ways. That's a good question. It's a hard one to say. I feel like there are going to be things that are going to hit Canada and the United States in a very heavy way, and we're not going to be we're not going to be we're not going to be unscathed. That's the wording I get from it all. And that's all part, and the thing is, electrical blackouts, definitely, yes. And we're going to start seeing that coming in through the summertime because of the forest fires, the droughts, the electricity, and the power grid can't take the electricity, which is really weird. Because anyways, the power grid that's coming in, plus the amount of illegals that are coming into Canada. As I stated the other day, it's like we had 1.4 million come into Canada in just this last year, which is over triple the amount of immigrants that we get within Canada. So our system cannot take it. But again, this is getting the Canadians where, how much more are we going to bow out and say, oh, it's okay, we can be nice? And that's part of the revolution. That's part of the change. That's part where people are going to start getting feisty, let's say. And I think after, with everything moving into Aries, and Aries is the god of war, and it's ruled by Mars, there's going to be transgressions that's a good word, that are going to come through and come down the chute, which are going to really get people to really reevaluate. But everything that's happening within the astrology right now is wanting people to get prepared for it, is showing that, okay, you know what are you doing to prepare not only your spiritual self, but your world, your muggle world, right? So for the past 4 years, it's been, with the energies in Taurus, which are even heightened right now. How are you preparing your mundane world? How are you connecting with that of your mundane world? Are you stocking up on water and all of that kind of stuff? Are you doing the rotations with it? You know, all of those types of things have been a real big play in the building up to now. So now it's saying, what are the seeds that you are planting for yourself spiritually, as well as, spiritually, morally, your values, and how are you standing, and what is that backing you're bringing forth for yourself to be able to have a strong, substantial moral standing, and a spiritual standing, when you're going to find that many who are out there being the big gurus and everything else out there, and the big players, um starting to fall, starting to fall, and waver in what they are saying and what they are doing. And you got to look at the ones that aren't wavering in what they do, right? um and that are still coming out and still saying the same thing they've been saying. And there are quite a few that are very beautiful, um and out there and talking, and staying true to their spiritual self and the energies of the direction that they're going to. Like, I can just name like four, but they're all men, that I can think of. There's five. There's Pamela Gregory is one, fabulous astrologer, spiritualist, beautiful woman. You can find her on YouTube. Rick Levine is another one. You can find him on YouTube. You can find him even on Instagram and stuff. Great guy. Gemini Brett is another one, and of course the Leo King, and um, K Pacha is another one as well. And these guys have not wavered with what they have said, right? And they have really, they've said, this is what's going on, this is where we need to be, this is what you should be doing, you know. And that's the whole thing. It's like, a lot of things that I do, I base it on astrology, because I'm not, it is what it is. I can't move things or change the aspects or the angles to it when they appear. So, um when I'm bringing in the energy, or bringing in the channeling, um I have that part of the astrology, and plus my part with working with the angelic realm for so many years, to come in to bring forth the truth. But truth sayers aren't always the ones that people love. They like, they want somebody who can give them that sort of, um I got like, bring them something that feels, good and substance, and that's what I want. But one of the things with many of, like, even like Pamela Gregory, or Rick Levine, or even, I'm not going to put myself up in those guys' leagues, but even for myself, I want people to think for themselves. I want people to make decisions for themselves. I want people to question. I want people to really be able to shine their light and be the true persons that they are, and not waver from that of their beautiful light that they do have. And I feel like that's so important, um, in the next coming weeks, and over this weekend. This weekend's going to be pretty gnarly. So you got to open your heart. Watch out for headaches and fuzziness in the head and stuff, because that's really a part of that, with that Mercury coming in. Mercury. So let's do a reading. So if you are wanting a reading tomorrow, I'll be doing readings. I'm going to come on 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time tomorrow, and I will be doing readings for people online. And I'll be here on these platforms that you're watching me now. So you can do it. You can send me e-transfer. I will hook it up and I'll put my temporary website up that I do have. I'm making a website right now. It's hell. I'm doing it. I'm putting up a website right now. The Mary June Tracy website is going to be coming back soon, but it's taking me some time because I have to, put things together again. So, but that's okay. Welcome to my world. Oh. So you don't want to do mine then? I don't want to do yours. What? Your question? Or what? You don't want to do... You got to elaborate, Char. Got to elaborate. Website. No, I don't want to do your website. It's a lot of work. Like I'm to do the website, right? It is. It's a lot of work. Like for me, I'm doing it, but I'm learning as I'm doing it, right? I'm not a web designer, and for my in doing my website, I am basically, it's there. I don't have to do a lot of the data and stuff for it. I am going through HostGator. I've paid for, for me to be able to start to put the information onto my website. It's not published as yet. It will be published hopefully in the next week or so. But yeah, it's the thing is that for you to do your website first, WordPress. Yes. Is it WordPress? Yes, I'm using WordPress on my website. So, and I've paid for my website. It's paid for the next till 2027. So my website is paid for and my domain name is paid for. And so now it's just getting it done and getting, putting all the information that you have to rewrite for WordPress and then putting it in there. And I've linked it up to Stripe. So Stripe is going to be the one. I'm not doing PayPal for people to be able to pay. So yeah. And it's the part that takes a while is description. You got to come up with a description. What are you wanting to describe? What are the pictures do you want to use on your website? So if you want someone to do your website, start collecting pictures. Start going on Canva. Honestly, get your own Canvas thing going and start doing your Canva. Mateus is home because he's sick today. Get your pictures together. What kind of pictures do you want? What kind of things, like, what do you do? What do you want and what kind of descriptions? The content is the hardest part. It is. Get on Chat GPT. Start using Chat GPT and putting your information there and working with the chat and working with what is it that you want to do with the descriptions, right? The thing is that, and I understand where you're coming from. It's like, I would love to have somebody just do it. But the thing is, it's like, it's your website. It's your content. They can give you the content or they can give you some of the ideas, but you're the one who has to come in and do it. You're the one who has to, okay, describe, what do you do? What do you offer? And you might sit there, I don't know. Well, look around, start figuring out, what do you offer? What do you want to offer? What is your description of your store and the whole bit? What, are you going to have a store products? Are you going to be selling your stuff online? Are you going to sell it worldwide? Are you going to sell it in Canada or just North America? Those are things that you got to look at and ask yourself, as you're looking at to do your website. So for me, everything is going to be online. Everything's going to be so that now I'm able to, so I have a March workbook. I can put my March workbook up there. I'm going to be putting up all my workbooks, April, May, June, July, August, September. I'm going to put them all up there and people can be able to purchase them and then they'll be able to download them, right? And things like that. So I have I have a Mercury retrograde in Aries if you want to have a Mercury retrograde. But it's work. It's like, for me, I work better in the morning than I do in the afternoon. So being up first thing in the morning to do it is important, and getting that work done and getting as much as I can, because that's when I work best. I don't work good at night. I'm not a good night worker. Not good. So finding the time that works best for you to be in the content. You're at your store. If there's nobody there, that's the time bringing your laptop down, doing the work. I got the devil card that just popped up. What are you connected to in this world? So the devil card comes in. So the devil card asks you, what are you connecting yourself to? Because whatever you're connecting yourself to, you can take the reins off at any time. The devil holds you where you want to be held. If you want to be held at a certain place with a certain person, it'll hold you there. That's your decision. But if you are wanting to get released from that, or released from the bonds, from whatever, you can. And that includes this, within the government. As I'm looking at it, do I want to vote? That's the other part too. I understand women had, for so long wanted to vote for so long. Now I'm deciding, is my vote worth putting into a government that does not follow through with whatever they say, and is only using me as a pawn, and is not allowing me to have the freedoms that I would love to have, to be able to prosper and grow without having to be taxed at every single corner. Bonds that are being there. And with it, as you do that, you're going to have to walk away. And it's going to be emotional. It's going to be emotional of what it is that we are walking away from. But we are not allowing ourselves to be entrenched or entangled with the emotional pulls on our heart that are false, that are the illusion. And within that, see, the hippy dippy night comes in, but he's reversed. It's not going to be all lovey-dovey. It's going to be a lot of work for us to be able to move forward and do the things that we are wanting to do, and set our trails on the way that we want to trail. We are the wagons that are moving into a new direction. We are the wagons that are going in and becoming the new settlers into a new world that needs to be resettled. And with that resettling, it's going to take us some work to do that. And we know it's going to be emotional, but we got to really be aware of the ties that tie us down, that keep us where we are, so that we don't move forward. So there you go. There you go. All righty. So guys, I'm going to send you out with so much love. May the Lord Almighty watch over and bless each and every one of you, and all that you say, and all that you be, and all that you do. Charlene, you have some work to do. On what it is that you want to create. Get a notebook. Just start writing things down. Ideas, what it is. What do you want to offer? What does that look like? Look at other websites too, to get ideas. So look at other websites that are very similar to what you are offering and what you are wanting to do. That's going to give you some ideas. Not saying that you're going to copy them word for word. That's not what you're going to do, but you're going to get the ideas. That's what it's all about. Getting ideas, and as you get the ideas, you're able to create the content that you are wanting to create. Then you could go to a web person and say, hey, this is what I want. This is what I want done. And look at different domain sites. Look at different sites and stuff. So, so there you go. Have a blessed one, everybody. And we will talk to you all tomorrow. And if you are wanting a reading tomorrow, let me know. And if you're wanting to be a part of the spring equinox next Tuesday, 7 p.m. online. Have a blessed one, everybody. And we'll talk to you all soon.